Hello WPS artists. Today we are going to be doing a watercolor of underwater. You will need a thick paper, or any paper will work okay for this project, along with your painting supplies, a paintbrush, a little bowl of water. You don't need much water in it, don't fill it all the way up to the top, a pencil, and crayons or markers. Since we are going to be doing a water artwork today, let's look at the great artist of Claude Monet. He loved to paint water, and let's take a look at some of the colors that he used. I see mixes of blues and greens, and even blues and violets. Let's start with pencil on paper for the first step of drawing the underwater scene. We're going to start with a turtle. Begin by drawing a circle or an oval near the middle of your paper, wherever you want your sea turtle to be swimming. Now we are going to add 4 ovals for the 4 legs, or flippers if it's a sea turtle. And now add an oval for the head. I even added 2 eyes and a mouth so that you can tell it's the head. You can even add a tail if you want to. Now we are going to design the shell of the turtle. You can design it realistically or fantasy using any lines or shapes that you want to use on the back. I used a cloud line, a circle with straight lines, and then I added some other designs such as a zigzag line, polka dots, a wavy line, triangles. Some students like adding diamonds or hearts. Feel free to design the back in any way that you want to. Be creative. Your turtle shell does not have to look like mine. It can look like any way that you want it to. Now let's add some sea plants and seaweed. For these, I came off the bottom of the paper and used wavy lines. But again, the plants under the sea can be many different shapes and sizes, so yours doesn't have to look exactly like mine. Next, I used an upside down U and some wavy lines to make a jellyfish. But you can do any creatures that you want. Maybe you want an octopus or a squid or a shark. I also added in some fish using an oval shape and a triangle for the tail. Now add any more details that you would like in pencil. I added a few more seaweed plants, another jellyfish, and a fish with a big flowy tail. Next, I added a few more fins to my fish in the shape of a triangle. Finally, adding some little circles to your picture for bubbles will make the water look more realistic. Next step is to outline your lines using crayon or marker. Notice I am not coloring in, but I am staying on my pencil lines to form an outline around my plants and my sea creatures. You don't have to outline every single line that you made, but I went around the outside of each of my sea creatures so that the outside lines stood out bolder and they showed up more after I painted them. I chose to use dark colors for my outline, such as black, indigo, and green, so that they showed up more. But you could also use marker for this step to outline the outside of your sea creatures. You could use realistic colors like I did for my seaweed, or you could use more fantasy colors for your turtle and sea creature. It's up to you if you want it to look realistic, which means like real life, or fantasy, which means like fake. The outlining step is optional, which means if you don't have time to do it or don't want dark lines around your edges, you don't have to do this step and you can skip straight to the painting step. It's up to you for the look that you wanted to give. You're finished, you're ready for the fun part, adding the paint. When painting, make sure you wet your paintbrush first and then make a little circle in the color that you want to use, which is green in my case for my seaweed. Every time I add enough water to my paintbrush, I always want my paintbrush wet when I am using watercolor paint. If you don't have paint available, you could also use colored pencils, crayons, or even markers to color in your picture next. Now I'm going to show you how to mix two colors together. When you want to mix another color in, always wash your paintbrush off in water, dip it in the water first, then the new color that you want to use. So in my case, I dipped my paintbrush in water and then I put some yellow on my brush. And I put the yellow over the green to make my own yellow-green. Always dip your paintbrush in the water first before getting a new color. This will stop your colors from all mixing together. When trying some of your own colors to choose to mix together to make your own mixes, choose colors that are next to each other or near to each other on your paint palette. I'm going to make my sea turtle a fantasy turtle, and I wanted to paint it pink and purple. The red on your paint palette does look pink when it's on your paper since it's a light red. So it does turn out pink if you want to use that color. I decided to paint my turtle's back into a pattern. Next, I'm going to use a technique called the wet on wet painting method. First, I wet the area that I want to paint with just water. Next, I add in the color that I want. So I started with black, and then I mixed in some green. The colors started swirling and mixing together with the wet on wet method. This made a dark green. Anytime you mix together black with a color, it makes the color darker or a shade. Next, I added some yellow into the green to make one of my favorite mixes, yellow-green. Next, I am adding some purple on top of my pink to make a red-violet. Next, I am mixing blue on top of purple to make an indigo. What are your favorite colors to mix together? Try some on your creatures. For the turtle's head and legs, I started with an orange, and then I added some yellow over the top to make a yellow-orange. Remember, you don't have to use the same colors I did. Try some of your own color mixtures too. Don't forget to wash off your paintbrush in the water before dipping it into a new color. If you like the colors I used on my fish and my jellyfish, I used red mixed with yellow and purple mixed with red for the fish. Now I will show you how I use the wet on wet method for the water. First, I took just water on my paintbrush and painted an area of the water. Then I added some blue on top of the wet paper. Only use the wet on wet strategy if you have thick paper. Otherwise, your paper could rip. This strategy makes the blue light and it makes it look like real water. You may also want to try a blue-violet mix in your water or even a blue-green mix in your water. I wanted to make mine a light blue, so I used a lot of water and a little bit of blue paint. The step of adding the paint, especially the water, was very fun and relaxing for me, and hopefully you're finding it fun and relaxing too. I'm almost finished adding in my blue water. You don't have to color your whole paper blue. You can just do some waves or areas of blue or green, depending on what look you want it to have. And I'm finished. It will take a little bit to dry, but here's how mine looked. I can't wait to see how yours turned out. I hope you had fun.